Good morning, fellow option traders. This is Jeff, and welcome to the Daily Scan for Monday, February 9th, 2015. All right, the big announcement on Friday was the unemployment report, and I'm sure everybody's heard about that, the good and the bad and the ugly. And it is kind of ugly, but we're moving on. The number, everybody's so happy about how many jobs were created, but I don't know if you heard the guy from that does the surveys that said something about the numbers are accurate, but I can't really say anything about that because I don't want to disappear or something like that. I thought that was pretty insightful and interesting. Yes, and if you want to see it, I think this is pretty funny. This is not made up. This is not right wing. It's not left wing or anything like that. The guy actually said it. You can watch the video here. And he is the Jim Clifton Gallup from the Gallup organization. So, and they're discussing unemployment, and this is the actual video. So, and here's the real rate, and that I think is based on, not people that are just not employed that should be employed, that should be working or are capable of working, not those that are actively seeking jobs and can't find one. There's a lot of people that just gave up, and that's what this number reflects on this chart here. So, and I talk about that frequently. But anyway, this is it here. Link to it from the Drudge Report. Yeah, the Drudge Report is alternative media, other than the mainstream press, but I do look around at a lot of different things. Okay, so for today, though, we have, we'll take a look at this tomorrow, the TD Ameritrade IMX Index, which is a sort of a consumer sentiment or, investor movement index, which is how investors are feeling about things. Why investors care about investors. Okay, yeah, that's cool. All right, and then things start getting a little bit heavier towards the end of the week. All right, we got lots of stuff in store for you this week, so make sure you tune in every day. Let's take a look across the ponds. Asia, we're mixed, and in Europe, we are, or they are anyway, not us, bearish across the board. I just had a senior moment there. But now that is a weird picture. Okay, so Europe is in deep doo-doo, and I read a couple of places that they think the euro is going to pretty much disappear. I don't know what they'll move to then. Maybe the dollar or something. I have no idea. Each country go back to their own currency. Who knows? Only the shadow knows. All right. Let's see here. How are we doing over here? Okay, so here looks like we're going to open down this morning. I have an interesting chart to show you. Gold is still well below that 1,300 mark, even though it's up $7 overnight, which is kind of a big bounce on that. We're going to be talking about bonds and yield curves later on this week, and we start tomorrow. Not sure, but we'll talk about what I learn about it. Now, I know absolutely nothing about bonds and yield curves, but I was doing some research over the weekend, and I saw something that was pretty interesting. And there was somebody else by the name of Gregory Manarino, I think his name is. He's got a YouTube channel and a website, and he does everything for free. I like that. And he was talking about bonds and yield curves. So I did some independent research on it, and it was interesting. So we'll be talking about that more this week. And we'll be also talking a little bit about Steve Miller, or Slim, or SLM on Tasty Trade, and the things that he talks about, pretty much in the same line. So I think everybody's kind of in tune there. So I figured I better learn a little bit more about bonds and yield curves. Okay, so oil's at 52.26, seems to have hit a bottom and is climbing back up. We'll see how that works out. The dollar's down a little bit, but so is the euro to US dollar pair, down a tad. Pretty close to its low, too. Take a look at the chart on that. Yeah, it's looks like as though it may be getting weaker again against the dollar. We'll see how that plays out. I don't understand that part of it either, so that may be my next little bit of research. All right, I think next we'll take a look at what last week did. We were down $103 last week. For the year, we're at $121, not including commissions. So we had some bad trade here on Priceline. Ouch. That one really hurt. And then SPX. That was a day trade, actually, in and out on the same day. Amazon, in and out on the same day as well, with their a little bit better than 50% profit. And the same thing on SPX. We collected 95 and it cost 45 to pull it back. That's supposed to be a negative 45 there. And that's supposed to be a negative 20 there as well. But they're slightly better than 50% on that one. And then OEX we got out for a nickel. But I am going to take OEX and XEO off my chart, and we'll talk about that when we get to the scan. And so let's get to that. This is up on my blog already, ready to rock and roll. So if you want to download it or anything, you can go ahead and do that. It's on my downloads page. All right, let's start right off. I'm going to go back to charts here. You can see here in the account, nothing there except this gold and this biotech here, that my speculative biotech that I refuse to get rid of. Okay, so let's start right out with Apple. All right, we were looking for a hook up on Apple because we thought that we were in a uptrend. Oh, you know what? Before I get to that, I want to cover this chart with you. So I have this chart here, and I set this up originally, and part of the reason I was talking about Steve Miller or Slim on Tasty Trade is because he's got this thing called Slim Ribbons, or SLM Ribbons. And I shared this chart up on my trade. So if you go over here to Market Watch and Tools, and go to my trade, let's see here, my page, and I am the option guru, just as it says right here. And I shared this chart, and I think that you can download it and load it into your TOS machine based on this link here, I think. This link, I think. You click on the link and open the Option Guru's chart in your Thinkorswim platform. Let's see here. I'm not sure. It says install Thinkorswim and view chart. I don't think that you really need to do that. I don't know why it does that exactly. I thought I'd give this a try. I know that when I clicked on it myself, it said download it to your, or download the importable script, I guess, is what it would be. I'm not sure exactly how this works. I'm not going to, let's see what happens when Thinkorswim is not installed for all users on this computer. I have no idea what that means. So anyway, I thought I'd give it a try. I'm not sure. Somebody let me know if they got it to work or not, because it doesn't look like it's going to work too good here. So let's go back to, if I can get back to my trade. What happened? I don't know. I might have wrecked something here. I have no idea. Well, I have no idea how to fix that, so let's just go back here. Maybe you better not click on it. I'm not sure. So I want to go back to the chart anyway. Talk about that just for a couple minutes. What I have set up on here is just a plain old chart. No studies, no volume, no nothing on this. I have a whole moving average of 50 periods, and this is a 20-day, 1-hour chart. And what I was looking for was a way to be able to figure out, you know, where might we be headed. And I was messing around with different time periods for both the moving average and for the quotes, and came up with this. And I thought, well, now this looks pretty good. If I wanted to look at what is the sentiment overall right now, what's my bias, I guess is a better way to put it. My bias right now should be bullish, most definitely, but here it looks like as though we might be starting to roll over. Much the same as we did here, and much the same as we did back here. I could go for more periods to see if this is accurate or not, further into the past, and I suppose I could. It's pretty simple to set up. You know, I don't show any after hours trades on this or anything, so that's why I wanted to share the chart, so you could just pop it in quickly, but I guess the gods are against us on this particular one. So I suppose you could set this up pretty manually. If you can get the whole moving average, that would be the key if you're not on a Thinkorswim platform. But you can always install a paper money one and look at it this way. If you don't, I don't know if you can do that if you're from another country other than the U.S. or not. I know a guy up in Canada that would go with Thinkorswim, but he doesn't because the commissions would be horrendously horrible. But he does have the paper money platform, and therefore he is able to do all the things that I do. So this is it. It's a 20-day, 1-hour chart for what bias I should have towards the market generally overall, especially for the S&P 500. And looks like as though we may be rolling over here. So we'll keep an eye on that. Definitely the way today's going to start out, yeah. Oh yeah, I would say so. All right, so let's go back to Apple here. We're waiting for a hook down here, so we need to let that one simmer for a while longer. This is Amazon from last week, which was a successful trade. And it was sort of a chase, I guess you might say. So we thought we'd stick something out there, and it worked. But we're still looking for something down here, so I'm just going to get rid of this one. And we'll keep our target in down here. Boeing. Boeing, yeah. I'm not going to fight that one, but we do need to wait for an entry. We could move this over a tad as we're waiting for that to happen. Alibaba. Oh yeah, it's like a sinking ship here. It's taking on water, and it's actually getting out of our range where we may just drop this off our list, but it's very tempting to just buy a put on this thing, and maybe a put out in June or July. How much would that cost us? It's not CSS version 2 for sure. But if we were to just buy let's look at the money, it would cost us 700. We'll put at the money 85, so it would cost us $6.90, $690 to buy a put on that, and we could double it if it just drops another $10. We could double that because this one, $6.90 here to $13.20. We get to delta getting closer to 1. That would be a pretty nice move for us, for anybody. So I might consider that. I might do that. I don't know. I get fearful, because you're losing 2 cents a day. So that's actually $2 a day you're losing on it if the price doesn't continue to move down. So that makes me a little bit nervous. Well, we'll have to see about that. Baidu. All right, Baidu has earnings coming up, so we're just going to take a pass on that. Chipotle, how did Chipotle do? They had their earnings. Apparently, the market did not like it, but there's no way that I could afford to buy a put on this, so I'd have to do a spread. And looking at what this did on Friday compared to, say, what the rest of the market did on Friday, which started up and then pulled back during the day and then had a nice pop at the end of the day. If we take a look at the Dow here, Chipotle, I guess it never really recovered Friday, but Chipotle did not participate in the same way, which to me indicates that we're on our way out. Yeah. Okay, so what would I do with this one? I don't know, maybe a chase trade. If it continues down today, that might be kind of a fun thing to do, especially now that all of the, a lot of the IV is out of it. So that would be a bear call. Say up here, like maybe about roughly around a 30 delta. So if we pick this level, oh man, there's not a lot of open interest here, is there? That's what concerns me a little bit. So let's pick 670 just to get to the even numbers here, and bump this up to 675. So that's $1.72 on a $5 spread. That's not too bad. Might do that, and then just grab your 50% and get the heck out. Might do that. I would put some. I would watch this very closely, because a lot of times things can flip around on you. But looking at the way things are going to open today, it might work out if you do it early, like 9:45 or so, after things sort of settle down a little bit. All right, Costco. Yeah, their recovery after their announcement of their special dividend. Just not touching that one at this time. We already sort of looked at the Dow. We did get a breakout here, and we took advantage of it last week with our SPX and OEX trade. Here is my covered call with the big gap down on Friday, and now it looks like as though it might be clawing its way back up to here, so nothing to worry about there. Just going to let that theta collect that theta. Google has no idea what it wants to do. LinkedIn had, I think, good earnings, right? Oh yeah, they had good earnings. And a troubling day, though. They had a big pop-up, and then they settled back, and I don't know what you would call that particular kind of candle, but it looks kind of crazy, doesn't it? So we're not touching that one. MNX, which is the NASDAQ mini. Let's look at NDX. I don't know that I'd ever trade MNX. And here's why. Pretty much maybe for the same reason. Let's take a look here. First of all, they're only monthlies, so I think I'm going to take them off my list. And look at the open interest. It stinks. So we're going to remove MNX. And make a note of that. And OEX. And I'll show you why there. And XEO. Don't really need those. I mean, we got other stuff. You could just, rather than just do one lot, we could do 2 lots on it. We don't need this other stuff that mimics Big Brothers and stuff like that. So let's take a look at NDX. We'll just shorten our list and we don't have to go through so much then. NDX, I had alert set here. It's a pretty old alert, so I think I can get rid of that. We were looking at this trend line here, and it looks like as though it's going to hold on this. So I am looking at a trade here on NDX. How about that? All right. First one for this week. First real one, anyway. The other ones are kind of speculative. All right, and here we have, I think it's Mike. This Netflix trade here, and I'm just going to zoom in here a little bit. Yeah, I hope you're still in it, because I got a feeling it's going to drop below the short here. I'll take a look on the Analyze tab. Yeah, you're probably doing pretty good right now. You're only down $56. So just hang in there. Hang in there. Okay, so here's, for us though, for the rest of us, I was looking to do a hookup here. So we're in setup mode, but I'm not sure this is going to work out for us. But I got to put it down, just because I have the target down there and it's fitting all the criteria. And if it fails, it fails. That's the purpose of these studies, is to keep us out. All right, OEX, I want to remove them. Let me explain to you why. Look at this open interest. And look at these bids and asks. They're always wide on the cash indexes, but I had a little bit of a problem moving these last week. Getting the, when you put the order in, you got your natural and midpoint, and there's like $2 between them. I didn't like that too much. So we actually don't need an S&P 100 on here. We got the 500, and we have the NASDAQ, and we have the Russell 2000, and I think that's plenty. I don't want to get distracted. So we're dropping OEX, and XEO is actually even worse if we took a look at that. It's like nobody trades this sucker. So I'm getting rid of it. I'm dropping both of them. And the way that we do that, the proper way to do that, is to edit and then go and remove symbol, and there's one up here. MNX, I'm going to remove that one. And XEO, I'm going to remove that one. And that should keep our list a little bit shorter so we can get through it a little bit quicker. All right, we left off on Netflix. Let's go to Priceline. Priceline actually would have turned out okay if I would have stayed in it until. When did I get out on this? I think I got out right away in the morning or something. I don't know. Let me take a look here. Well, it was Friday when I got out of it, and you can see here. Why are my crosshairs not synchronized? There we go. You can see that we actually went below the short here for a long period during the day, so that was not a smart exit. I think that was I'm going to get out first thing in the morning and I don't have to worry about it kind of a thing, and it burnt me. So, yeah, you take your lumps. I'm beginning to tend towards these cash indexes because they've been working out pretty good, especially doing the 50% thing. All right, so the Russell, we are in setup on the Russell. Actually, we are in an alert situation here on the Russell. So in goes an alert at or below and based on what I'm seeing over here, I don't think that that's going to be a hard thing to have triggered. All right, SPX. Is this normal expiration this week? No, it's not. Feb 2. Next week is regular expiration. Okay. So it's going to be interesting this week because company comes in on Wednesday, and I'll have grandkids here Thursday morning. And we'll see how excited they are and how early they get up and how I'm able to handle getting my recording in. So SPX, all right, SPX. We are definitely in a downtrend. We are in an alert situation here. So let me get rid of this one. And this one will move over. Just so we look smart. I always like to look smart. Tesla. Well, has earnings coming up. It doesn't look too good right now. And then Visa, is it still on a tear? It did not have a good day on Friday at all. So we're in a downtrend. Visa actually is in an alertable status here too. It all happened on the same day. So we're going to throw an alert on Visa. This is a gutsy alert, but sometimes it wants to go back and it wants to fill that gap, and that might be what we have happening here. Wow, look at this, 28 minutes on this video. Oh, that's long. All right, so we have our candidates for today. Hopefully we have a good week. We need to make up a little bit from last week, so we might be looking at another minor correction or some sort of correction here coming up. So that's it for today. Thank you very much for watching. Have a great day, and above all, really, happy trading.